Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to tell you one very important thing about driven wild boar, and everybody seems to neglect it or forget it. And it goes something like this: pay attention to all the information that you're getting, because then next trip will be easier and more successful, or it's likely to be easier and more successful. Why? Because if you say, "Oh, I've been to Croatia, I didn't like it," well, that's not entirely true. Why? Because unless you know who was the agency that took you, who was the agent that guided you, who was the gamekeeper in the ground, who was the manager of the ground, in which exactly ground were you, there's not enough data for you to go around that information. So that information is a must, so you have to have it. Why? If you had a great trip, you know where you want to go next year because you want to take your friends if you had a great trip. So you cannot say, "Oh, we've been to Croatia, we had a great trip." "Oh, where did you go?" "Well, I do not know." So you have to know where you were. On the other hand, if you didn't have a good trip, if you had a bad trip, or if your expectations were not achieved, then you will know where not to go next year. And yet again, if you had a bad experience, your friends will ask, "Where did you go?" You cannot say, "Oh, I've been to Croatia." No. You've been with this agency, and this agency was represented by this agent, and you were in that hunting ground, which at that time is managed by that manager, and then the gamekeeper is this and this gentleman or guy or whatever. So it's very important for you to know all of these details, because like I said, if it's good, you want to do it again, you want to show it to your friends, you want other friends to have a good hunt. On the other hand, if you had a bad experience, you don't want to do it again, and yet again you want to help your friends that they do not get bad experience. So you have to know all the details, memorize them. That's why when you come to Croatia, a lot of hunting grounds, they stand in front of you and then they say, "I am Mr. this and that, and I am standing in front of you in the name of that company, and you are in. My job is this and this, whether he's a manager or a gamekeeper, and we are in this hunting ground." So they usually give you all the details. If they do not give you all the details, now that's a real trick question. Why don't they give you all the details? Why hide? If you're very proud in what you do and proud of your hunting ground, and if you're a real representative and want to share the information how Croatia is a good hunting destination and good tourist destination, why hide? So give out, ask, and then ask that all the information is given to you. Like I said, in Croatia, which agency you took, who was the agent, in which ground you were, who was the manager of the ground, who was the gamekeeper, which part of the hunting ground you were, because I know I have some parts of hunting grounds which I like, and on the other hand, I have some that I don't. So find out all the details. It's easier to have a successful trip next year, or not to do a bad one if you had one this year. Hope that helped. See you next time. Cheers. Bye.